Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Celtic Way. I'm your host, John McGinley. I'm joined by Ryan McGinley. We've got a few bits to talk about, but we'll just get straight into the Celtic team news straight away. There's 4 changes to the team that face Rangers on Thursday. We've got Greg Taylor, Austin Trusty, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnston in defence ahead of Kasper Schmeichel, Cal McGregor and Arne Engels in midfield with Luke McCowan, Nicholas Kuhn, Daizen Maeda and Adam Ida up front. 4 changes to the team, Ryan. A chance to go 13 points clear after the result at Easter Road. It could be a big afternoon for Celtic.
It could be, yeah, and they would have a great chance in righting all the wrongs, or some of the wrongs that happened on Thursday. I think everybody's still got that sour taste in their mouth that a derby defeat will bring. But it's a great chance today. There's an opportunity. Rangers, were 2-0 up. It looked as if they were coasting in that game. And then Hibs come back to make it 2 each. They go 3-2 up, Rangers, and then Hibs score again. So a big opportunity. There's plenty of changes today, 4 big changes. Players that I'm quite happy to see in the starting lineup. And yeah, I want to see a response today, John. I want to see a response to what happened on Thursday, because they were pretty terrible at Ibrox. That was a terrible game to watch. So I'm expecting a bit of a not revenge on St Mirren, so to say, but they're the next team after the Rangers game, and you're hoping that they can take out some of that punishment that they received on Thursday on St Mirren on Sunday.
Yeah, and if you're unaware, the 4 changes today are Austin Trusty coming in for Liam Scales, Arne Engels coming into the team for Paulo Bernardo, Luke McCowan coming into the team for Ray Otati, and Adam Ida coming in for Kyogo. I think those are 4 changes that everyone kind of wanted to see today for various reasons. Whether they were ineffective on Thursday or whether they just want to change up, a freshening up of the team. But I think most people would agree with the 11 there today. I mean, the only real questionable one for myself would have been Kyogo or Ida. And obviously Ida just adds something a little bit different there. It's a chance for Rodgers to rotate the team with all the busy games coming up. But I think Trusty coming back into the team makes sense. Engels was due to start at Ibrox and didn't because of illness. And then Ray Otati was pretty poor in the derby, so Luke McCowan gets his chance there. I'm pretty happy. I think most Celtic supporters will be pretty happy with that team.
Yeah, on paper, and as we know, games aren't played on paper, but it does look like a strong team. The changes that Celtic have made are positive ones. I think Austin Trusty, a £6 million defender coming in to replace Liam Scales. This is the first game that he'll have played since Rangers in the League Cup final, where he was taken off at half-time. So he's been out of the team for a little bit. I'm glad to see him back in there. The only other one that I was maybe would have put in front of Greg Taylor would be Alex Bailly, but it's a bit of a weird one that he's not really getting a lot of game time at the moment, Alex Bailly. I'm interested to see how his situation transpires over the next month or so, because I'm sure that Barcelona would have been wanting him to play a little bit more than what he has done so far. And Greg Taylor's future still to be sorted as well. There's been conflicting reports over the past couple of days on whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to move to Dinamo Zagreb. But he's there, he's in the team, he's a professional, and you know that he'll do a professional job. But seeing Luke McCowan in the team, seeing Arne Engels back in the team, an £11 million player, Adam Ida getting the chance to lead the line, they're all positive changes, and I just hope that it looks good on paper, but I just want to see it look good in person just as much.
Yeah, and the bench today is Sinisalo, Scales, Palma, Kyogo, Valle, Yang, Bernardo, Hatate and Ralston, so a very strong bench if we need it too. It's interesting, we've talked about this before, but football does change quickly, doesn't it? And everyone's on a low after the derby, and rightly so. It was a poor performance, but just immediately getting the chance to capitalise on more drop points from Rangers would be a perfect way to get over, that derby, just to show everyone that nothing really has changed at the top of the Scottish Premiership, apart from what was a one-off pretty dreadful performance and result.
Yeah, I've been calling it a bit of an anomaly over the past couple of days because it was so out of character. The way that both teams played, actually, because I've watched Rangers quite a few times this season. Obviously, you're going to do that when it's your greatest rivals. I've not really been impressed whenever I've watched them. Similarly, I've seen a lot of Celtic this season. Some good performance, some not so good. But I didn't see that result coming. I didn't see Celtic getting beat 3-0. I thought they would have put up a bit of a fight, and yet there just wasn't anything in that performance whatsoever that was positive, out with maybe Cameron Carter-Vickers, but even then he conceded 3 goals as part of that defence. So how much of a pass mark was that? It's a great chance today, to gain back 2 of those 3 drop points at Ibrox on Thursday. A big opportunity today, and I just hope that I think the 3 points is important, but I think what is more just as important, if not more so, is seeing a performance to go along with that. Because I think that, apart from a few first halves and second halves here or there, the performance levels haven't been as good as what they have been at the start of the season, going into the middle of the season. I'd just like to see a full 90-minute performance and a real response to what happened on Thursday. If they can do that, then those memories of a Derby defeat will be long. That's all they'll be. There'll be memories, and we can focus on Celtic picking up more points, more 3 points at home.
Yeah, and it might be one of those days where it's like win at all costs, and that's fine. Sometimes that happens. I know everyone's wanting to see that kind of reaction in terms of performance and understand that. But when you suffer a blow, sometimes just getting the 3 points by any means necessary is really what you're looking for. I would love to see some of the players. I mean, I think Annie Engels was on a positive trajectory before, like, that illness going into Ibrox. It'd be fantastic to see him to take the game by the scruff of the neck today. Again, Luke McCowan has been pretty positive for most of the season. Like the rest of the team on Thursday, wasn't great coming off the bench, but again, another chance for him to really make his mark in his team. Because I think there's midfield spots up for grabs. I don't think there's really a midfield three that you would have as your first choice midfielder at the moment. I think everyone can kind of stake a claim over the next while. St Mirren at home, Dundee United at home. It's a chance for these players, and you're desperate to see players hit individual form and then hopefully that collective form that comes with it. Again, it'll be interesting to see how Trusty coming back into the team impacts that defence. Rodgers took him out of the team for the reason of the cup final. He wasn't happy with his first half performance. He made that pretty clear in his post-match press conference. Then he was kind of missing. Now it was Liam Scales who's kind of under the spotlight for his Derby performance. So we'll see that partnership between Trusty and Carter Vickers start to build again. That's something people will be looking at today as well.
I hope that's the case, because Celtic have spent a lot of money on Austin Trusty, and for £6 million, Celtic don't sign defenders to sit on the bench. They've got to be playing week in, week out, and that's with full respect to Liam Scales, who I think's been arguably one of Celtic's best defenders this season in the way that he's played, the way that he's stepped in. He had a bad game at Ibrox. He could have easily been taken off at half-time with how many times he was giving the ball away. I'm surprised that he stayed on for the second half, given how, if you look at that and contrast that with the way that Austin Trusty was playing against Rangers in the League Cup final, I didn't think he was that bad. But obviously he was doing something, or wasn't doing something, that Rodgers wanted him to do in terms of breaking the lines and being progressive with his passing, and that's why he took him off for Liam Scales. But I think it's consistent. He didn't have a good game against Rangers, and therefore he isn't in the team for that next game. It's a perfect opportunity at home against St Mirren for Austin Trusty to come in and really stake his claim again alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers. I think that's what we all want to see. We want to see that defensive partnership really gelling, because before that League Cup final, and I didn't even think he was that bad. I thought the two of them were playing some really good stuff. A couple of mistakes here and there. I remember Trusty had a mistake at Aberdeen that Cameron Carter-Vickers bailed him out with a great block near the end. But that's a good partnership. These two will bail each other out in moments, and it's one that I would like to see grow as the weeks and months go on. Hopefully today they can start that with a clean sheet and a good performance between the pair of them.
What's your prediction for today then? I've just got a funny feeling this is going to be a little bit tighter than we might expect from a reaction from a derby result, such as Thursday. I think St Mirren are a decent side on their day, and they'll look to frustrate Celtic, and it could be one of those winter games, cold, stodgy, low block, creativity issues. So I could see this being a 2-0 or even a 1-0. I don't want to put the scare into anyone, but I could just see it being a bit tighter. And you're expecting to be a bit more free flowing today. Would that be fair?
I just think they need to be. I think there needs to be a response. Whether or not that happens, of course, is a very different thing. Things can happen in games. Teams can be tight at the back, and they really restrict Celtic to what they can do. But I just think if Celtic turn up and do what we know that they can do and what they've got in their locker, they've shown it numerous times this season against better opposition than St Mirren, that they can cause teams problems and they can score goals at will. So, they've got the firepower in that team. They've got Nicholas Kuhn, they've got Daizen Maeda, who are both on double digits this season. They've got Adam Ida, who cost £8.5 million, who knows where the goal is. Yes, he's still a bit of a development player, a work in progress, but he's still good enough to score against St Mirren. You've got Luke McCowan that can score from range, Arnott Engels that can score from the spot. You know, you go through that whole team, there's danger men all over, and if it clicks, and if they needed any more encouragement and motivation, just look at what happened at Easter Road today. You know, when you take your eye off the ball, look at what happens. Celtic have got to really remain focused, do their job, and that league table will be looking a lot better come 5 o'clock tonight. Hopefully, if they do their job.
In fairness, it wasn't looking too bad before, but
yeah, that's true.
But 13 points, I think, is a fantastic place to be after being on the receiving end of a derby drubbing like that. And it was not entirely unexpected. I think most people recognised, as much as a disappointment that Thursday was, Rangers have really struggled away from home against teams in the league this year. And so there's no real big, massive shock from today's result at Easter Road. Maybe the shock was that it was 3-3. You know, usually it's been, you know, less goals in those games that Rangers have been struggling. But I wasn't surprised by the scoreline that they've had, but it's just on Celtic to, you know, whenever a Celtic team has an opportunity to absolutely scunner Rangers and Rangers fans, I think most Celtic supporters are just wanting them to take that opportunity with full-bloodedness, and hopefully that's what we see today. There's a fair amount of confidence in the chat. Blake Owen thinks it'll be 3-0 to Celtic. Hazel Finn's coming in with the 3-0 prediction as well. 88 3-1 Celtic. So people are looking for that kind of attacking performance today. Got Alessandra Inglis saying it would be 2-0. So a couple of goals today, a few goals, some good individual performances, and everyone will be feeling really good again at Celtic, which is what we want, of course, after Thursday. I think we'll wrap it up for now, Ryan. You're heading into the game. We'll be speaking after the game with full reaction to whatever happens at Celtic Park today. Thanks for all your comments in the chat if you've been joining us live or checking out the video later. And we'll speak to you after the game. We'll see what kind of Celtic turn up today. Any last words before you head off, Ryan?
Just going to give a quick prediction. I think it'll be 3-0 Celtic. I agree with some of the commenters in there today. I think it'll be a clean sheet, a good performance, and fingers crossed to go 13 points clear. That looks a lot better after Thursday, if that is going to be the case today. Well, let's hope we're all smiling at full time, Ryan. Enjoy the game, everyone in the live chat, and we'll catch you after on the Celtic Way. Thank you.